YouTube? Having a bit of an amp shootout today, so I'm now running just last week I got myself a peavey Valveking Royal 8, and there's my Laney VC15. I've got both of them running from a splitter box, and they're both kind of sounding kind of the same, sort of. So that's the Laney. And that's the peavey. I've been using the peavey for the last week, and really it's like, I don't think it sounds quite as good as the Laney, but it's like, it's really all I really need. I'm using this Aria Pro Japanese laser, just because it's been hanging on the wall and I've not played it for a while. This has coil splits on it, so just now we're in 2 single coils. So what I think I might do is I might put a backing track in, like on the, and maybe just play through the bass amp, so that it's just the, because normally I've got the guitar would normally have it, the loop would be playing through the amp. So what I'll do is I'll stick in, it'll maybe sound a little bit weird, I'm sure I'll be able to do something. This would be just played through a bass amp just for the backing track. Which one it is it's actually on. I'm assuming that's the Laney because it does sound more expensive. Yep. Humbucker the bridge. whenever I do a shootout, completely inconclusive. I think the Laney sounds more expensive. The Laney does have, I believe it's actually a 10-inch speaker that's in there. So it's got like a 10-inch speaker. It's also got like a Jenson speaker, which I'd imagine probably costs more new than that whole amp does. It's got an 8-inch speaker. So the Laney's not getting replaced. But maybe after listening to A Bead quite like that, I'd maybe be able to tell the difference if, you know, went somewhere else, drive for an hour, put them both in a room, and then ask me which one's plugged in. I could probably guess. If I heard the both of them together, I reckon I could guess which is which. But if you just, tomorrow you just say, right, here's one of those two amps plugged in, you know, round the corner. But I could probably have told you which one it was. Also, the Laney's got lots of knobs on it, so I'm sure I could probably have made them sound a little bit closer together, but it's just kind of... The Laney's just the way I set it up the first time I plugged it in, and that's just the way I had it set up for playing earlier on. So generally it's like which you can't really fault it. I mean, I think these things were £100 new, and I think that's like about £400 new. So it's not 4 times better. I mean, it really just good to sell it now. Couldn't tell you which one I've got plugged in. I can't remember. Now it's the Laney. A better. Normally I play whatever one I'm using through that 3x12 because the 3x12 sounds better than I either want a single 10-inch or a single 8-inch. But listen to them as they are. I think the peavey's driving an awful lot quicker because it's only 5 watt, whereas that's 15 watt. So it's like, yeah, okay, the idea is you can get a 15 watt amp cranked in the house sort of thing. You can't really. I mean, I've used that before in the band with the drum kit, just not coming through another cabinet and it's loud enough. I'm not sure about that one. I do want to try that. That's one of the things I want to try next week. Neck pickup. Twin note fuzz pedal. Yeah, the Laney. So the Laney's much smoother. There's an awful lot more going on in there. There's sod all in that. Sounds more expensive. Sounds more like a fuzz pedal through the peavey. obviously the pedals isn't really a fair junction between the two either, because they've got different characteristics, so the pedals drive them different ways. Definitely that one makes the twin note sound much more like what I would consider a fuzz pedal to be. The Laney sounds much more modern, much more complicated. This is a really good guitar. Been kind of consigned to. I actually took this into the studio and it didn't. Didn't really sound very good. But that could have been something wrong with the speaker cabinet where it was sitting. Maybe I was just playing badly. Maybe the rest of the band were playing badly. I think it sounds pretty good just now. So basically I just bought this guitar because a couple of months before that I picked up the bass version, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to find an excuse to buy another guitar, and it's like, I'll buy this is a laser heritage. I think my bass is a laser classic because it's active, but there is a laser heritage bass which is the same without the active circuit in it. I kind of chopped together very much like a Thor series guitar, apart from 85, I believe these were 85. Rocking this has also got it's got a V7 and a V2 pickup. The V7 is the ones you get in Ibanez Prestige. The V2 is a sort of fancy one which is worth more than what I paid for the whole guitar. As I said, there was a huge difference between the two pickups. They kind of go quite well together. Really amazing, nice and fat neck on this. A three-piece maple. Unfortunately, it's not finished. It's not glossy, which I prefer, but you can't have everything. So I suppose my question I'm going to ask is, what am I going to do with the peavey or the laney? The answer is I don't know. It's like, it'd be nice if I could have the two of them set up, but obviously if I do that I can't have guitars on the wall, and also it's a little bit teetery. I don't like the idea of having an amp quite as high up as that, you know, in case I walk past and trip over the lead or something and just pull the thing onto the floor. No, I don't want to do that. So the answer is I don't really know what to do with it. I bought it just purely out of curiosity, thinking like, oh, small valve amp, that's a great thing, and that's an even smaller valve amp. But ultimately, if I didn't have the laney, I'd be totally happy with that as my amp, I think. For the types of sounds that I like to play, which is kind of always the same, sort of 70s rock, I suppose, really, in it. There might be a little bit more scope in the laney. I just think, being a tube snob, it's tube snobbery, and it's tubey. I like it. An actual fuzz pedal. So in conclusion, the laney's better, yes. If someone offers you one of the two, I would just look at the price ticket and go, the laney's worth an awful lot more. But I could definitely survive with just that. My pal was trying to get me to set up a stereo setup, but I don't really have any stereo way of recording it in stereo, so I don't know if it's really worth it. Maybe if I could find somewhere physically to put the other amp. I'm about to do some more fuzz pedal videos, or maybe not about to. I'm doing them before next Thursday. I've got more fuzz pedals, so I'll probably go back to the laney for that, because that's what I did with the last one. But I suppose it's a spare amp. Like, if something goes wrong with the laney, I've got that. I guess I don't want to sell it because it's quite nice. It would kind of come in well if it's like the old. I did a video of like, what's the best rig you can get for like £100 all in, and I'm sure I could get a guitar and that peavey for what I paid for it, for like under 120, 150 quid sort of thing, and get a giggable. Well, you're kind of almost there with this guitar and that, to be honest. When you get it for 200 quid and you're getting a pro level Japanese guitar and an all valve amp, which you might be able to gig with. There's no line out or anything like that, so if you mic'd it up, I'm sure you could get away with gigging it. And you only wanted one sound, that sound being crunchy, crunchy valvey, the way I like it.